Hi, I've chosen to do my persuasive speech on abortion. Abortion is one of the most debatable and controversial issues that exist today in our society. There are people who support the idea that it should be a choice of each and every woman whether to do it or not to do it, while others claim that no one has the power to decide whether to bring life or to end it. According to msmagazine.com, a medical abortion is a combination of two medications. The pill Mifeprex is taken first, and then 2 days later, misoprostol is taken. According to manufacturer Danco Laboratories, Mifeprex blocks the hormone progesterone so that the pregnancy cannot continue. The lining of the uterus softens and breaks down, and bleeding begins. Misoprostol causes the uterus to contract and pushes the uterus out. I strongly believe that every woman that decides to go this route understands that it is wrong. They come up with all the different excuses, but it does not change the action that will cost the life of a human being or a child. ProChoice.org says that it has been scientifically proven that children in the uterus starts perceiving things very early. Their heart starts beating on the 6th week and brains start working at the same time. So when abortion is done, it is in fact the end of life of a human being that already can feel and think. If I were into the situation, I don't think I'll be able to make that decision to take a life of a human. Pregnantandalone.net talks about how abortion can possibly affect future pregnancies and its emotional impacts on our lives. Scarring or other injury during an abortion may prevent or place at risk future for wanted pregnancies. The risk of miscarriages is greater for women who abort their first pregnancy. Some women experience strong negative emotions after abortion. Sometimes this occurs within days, and sometimes it happens after many years. This psychological response is known as post-abortion stress, aka PAS. Several facts that impacts the likelihood of post-abortion stress include the woman's age, the abortion circumstances, the stage of the pregnancy at which the abortion occurs, and the woman's religious beliefs. I've known a few females that chose to go this route for different reasons and now regrets making that decision. For example, I had a friend that even though she wanted to have the baby, she decided to go the abortion route because the father of the child told her he didn't want the child and would not be there to help her and raise the kid. Now, a year later, she still cries, talks about it, and regrets making the decision of taking the child's life. I try not to have my daughter around her much due to the fact that we were pregnant at the same time and her child would have been the same age as mine. Just so I won't bring up bad memories. According to PSCstart.com, abortion is identified by the American Psychiatric Associations as a psychological stressor. It is highly unlikely that a woman will be able to know before the abortion how she will deal emotionally with this psychological stressor after the abortion is over. Therefore, abortion carries with it certain risk to the mental health of women. I strongly believe that depending on the circumstances as to why the pregnancy came about, females should do research, talk to their loved ones, regarding of how they might feel their loved ones will react before they make such decision. Like really think about it, because we have no idea as to the impact it's gonna have. Like as mentioned in before, the health effects it might have, especially if you wanted to have kids later. You don't want to jeopardize you having the chance of having another kid later on in life when you're ready to have one. You don't want to have the health problems, pain all the time, or telling your family later on after you have done it, and to find out that they would have stood beside you as my friend did. You don't want to go through life regretting making a decision, or wondering what if, or seeing another kid running around that would have been the same age as yours, and wondering how your child would be, how they would look, how would it look if you had kept them, what they could have been, they could later on as they grew, and how it would be to have a child growing up right now, or having to tell your future kid or child later that they could have had a little sister or brother, and explaining why you made that decision you made. In conclusion, while everyone has their own opinion as to why abortion shouldn't be done and why it should be illegal, it's not our job to judge anyone's decision, because like I said, everyone has a reason as to why they did what they did. We need to take into consideration that everyone has their own choice and can make their own choice. I'm not very fond of abortion, but there's a few reasons that I would say okay. For example, if somebody had a traumatic experience as to what pregnancy came about, for example, rape, they were attacked, and the possibility that a disease might be about you don't want to bring a kid into the world knowing that there's possibility that they might have a disease, or having to look at them with that sadness in your eyes and heart, knowing that the way they came about wasn't through love. People should really think of all the possibilities before making a decision. Thinking of the effects it could have on you if you make a decision like that, before and after. But it is everyone's decision if they want to choose to keep a life or take a life. But always remember, every action has a reaction. Thank you.